Michael here. Today's topic is persistence. The reason why I stress persistence is when you start learning a game or improving any area of your life, you're just gonna get the unbelievable amount of just bullshit, just bullshit. Just pure, straight bullshit that other people just seem to chuck at you. It's like how monkeys chuck shit at each other. It's just that kind of bullshit, just nonsensical. The reason why I say persistence is that goal up there, you gotta get there no matter what. So the best way to say it is like when the Greeks were sacking Troy, what gave them the motivation to do that to the best extent is they burnt the boats. They gave themselves no other option, no way out. It's like, you don't do this, you're dead. That's the sort of frame I want you to put in with persistence. It's like anything else is coming at you, you just can't see it. You just can't just block that shit out, all the other bullshit, and just keep going for it. And of course, along the way to get there, of course, you're not going to always be super good like when you first start out and pick up, or was any goal like getting big and suddenly it's like, oh, it's not working, walk up to your, oh, I didn't pick up yet, I only approached 3 girls, and it's like, you haven't even approached enough and you're saying it doesn't work, you're giving up too soon. The reason why persistence is also fairly attractive as well is it also shows you actually it's a winner trait that will literally is very attractive. It's like this motherfucker is going straight to the top and he don't give a fuck. Perfect examples of one of these guys like Donald Trump, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Study guys like that and Rob Kiyosaki. Look at those guys and actually study them, like how did they get there. They had that rock solid, like, just persistence. They're like, fuck you, I'm getting there. Like, fuck you, I'm getting there. No matter what the fuck happens, I'm getting there. That's virtually the kind of persistence and spirit I want you to actually get in there. And therefore, when you start dealing with people's bullshit or start talking shit, I think the best way to probably frame it or just pitch them is like, you know, annoying fly or stuff like that. Just accept it that the shit at the bottom of the bucket doesn't want to admit it's the bottom of the bucket. So eventually that's kind of where it sort of comes from. So the fly's always just going to fly around, and it's like if you get angry at it, you really get angry at like the fly or at the shit, and it's like that's life. There's no need to really get angry about it. It's just accept it. Since maybe you should put it as angry, me, good. You're tearing up your focus, where it's like just breathe and accept the idiots as idiots. Don't let them hold you back or keep you down or let their opinion of you decide your reality. I reckon just keep it firm. Since the more you keep it firm and you will not waver, the more and more people will just drop behind you, and then when you eventually get there, they'll all be quiet. Literally. Everyone will just be quiet when you finally succeed. No one thought you could do it, and you just made them shut up. It's like, yep, what's that? No complaints, no nothing? Yep. So they learn their place. That's kind of what I want you to think of, like, just the people that are like trolling when you start to learn a game, like, oh, you're learning game, why are you learning pickup? Do you suck with women? Or it's like, yeah, I had to learn pickup, I had to learn success with women, just like you had to learn to walk and you had to learn to talk. So correct me if I'm wrong, you just got born you could suddenly walk and talk? Oh my fucking god, if you were, you must be a fucking miracle, but if you're not, then piss the fuck off. The only reason why I'm swearing so much is just make a point that the people that will try and criticize you, hate you, are wasting so much damn energy to do that to you, try and make you feel less than, because they feel that in their inside and like, no, you can't feel better than me, I must put my issues onto you to hold you down so I feel good. That's really where it's actually coming from. Like, figure that out. That's actually where it's actually coming from. So when you're doing those haters or those trolls, notice block them out. Or even better, when you start to succeed, shove that actually in their face. Like, fuck you, I'm there. That's a bit petty. That's just what I'd probably do personally, the higher up I go. That's totally my perspective due to, I've had so many people say, you can't do this, you can't do that, and yet I've done every single one of them. I'm 22, I bought my own car, I own my own home gym, my whole shed, I have a whole library and I have a six-pack. Got them all myself, and people said I could not do it. So main idea which I'm getting across to you is, no matter what you want the kingdom, you want the earth, you want your own aeroplane, you want your whole harem of girls, you want to be a pimp, you want to be rich, or you just want a nice beach where you can just lay on, relax, and just not worry about anything, you can all have that. But you've got to have the key thing, which is the persistence to get there no matter what. That, like, the unwavering persistence, like, I will not give this up no matter how many mistakes it tries. It's like, did you know Thomas Edison took Thomas Edison 1,000 tries to make the light bulb? 1,000. Motherfucker, that's persistent. 1,000 different fails to improve the light bulb. That's real persistence, and he done it. But phrase like this, it took 1,000 ways to find out how not to do it. Since here's the thing, everyone will make you focus on, like, all your mistakes, since they don't really want you to win, since they're not really winning. They're like, why should this person win when I'm not winning? That's the haters frame sort of come from. Where, get this, if you do something right and it works, all the other times fall short. The haters want you to focus on that. Where if you focus on every time that you've done right, succeeded, pile that together, you're a pretty successful person no matter where you are in life. Everyone has a whole heap of strings of success connected together. Once you learn how to connect them and see them in your head, then you can find things and just be like, you know what? Yeah, I did do it. And yeah, actually I'm successful at that. I just not give myself enough credit and stuff like that. Once you're able to understand that, and especially when you do things right and you get your success you've been looking for, you actually see it was all worth it, all those mistakes. You learned so much to learn how to do it right and properly. I actually really like that, since it's like, no matter how big you get blown out by girls or stuff up, the universe will reward you with that, with success of equal merit. So especially as big as you're willing to fail, the universe is going to be willing to reward you success in the same measure. It's very like this pendulum, or like the alchemist quote, you want something of value, you must first give something of equal value to the universe. That's the best way I put it. So, say you want a whole heap of girls around you and stuff like that. You have to put that much hours and stuff in the game of getting blown out, getting numbers, scoring every now and then. You have to put that much effort into the universe of equal value to get that back out. That is virtually persistence. It's like just really thinking that persistent, like this rock solid persistence. But at the same time, I will also say, with your solid persistence, you must also still take into account listening. Since this thing, you just listening also to the other people and all that as well. Since even though you may not like them and stuff like that, they might have a point of view which you may have missed. So even if you don't think you can learn from or stuff like that, take the time to just look at their point of view, see what their motives are and where they actually come from, see if they can help you. If not, get rid of them, like, gone. And sometimes every now and then people will give you good information on your goals to get there with your persistence. But this persistence, it needs to be ingrained in your character. It's like no baby shit. Like, you've really got to like put it into like this massive hard work ethic. Otherwise, you're not going to get very far anywhere here on Earth. Anyway, like persistence. All our ancestors, my ancestors came from Europe and stuff like that. That's a long way from Europe to Australia. That's a big commitment and persistence. Be like, I'm going to get to Australia where it's nice and warm and away from the cold. They took all their baggage and that was their life stuff, and they moved to Australia. That's persistence and truly giving into that goal. I want to really, what I'm trying to get across to you is, give yourself no other option to succeed. Since therefore, if you don't succeed in that spot, you're literally screwed. So it gives you that extra leverage to just go out at it. Go out swinging, like, completely put your whole heart, whole energy, whole everything in. Do not have a plan B, what they actually call like that. I have plan A and a plan B. No plan B, you only have plan A. And the only thing that I really say with plan A is, maybe your plans of plan A must adapt, but you've only got one plan, which is to get to that top of the mountain, get to that goal. That's virtually what it is. It's like, just get to that goal at all costs. That's virtually what I like to say. Just before I go, I want to give you some reading material to help you get more persistent and help you achieve your goals. Everyone's watching. My first book I like is just Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. Best book I've ever read, hands down. It gives you literally step-by-step thinking process and ways to get to any goal you want. Whether you want riches, women, anything. Like, it will tell you and give you a map structure on how to get there. It's just not hokey pokey like most of those other self-help books. It's actually really practical, and it's the best one I actually suggest. The second book I like to suggest to all you guys out there is actually Masashi Miyamoto's Book of Five Rings. Eventually, this book will help you. It's got a bit of martial arts stuff in there that I think most people actually find pretty awesome. But the reason why I suggest it is a book of emptiness and stuff like that, and how he achieved what he got in his kind of thinking philosophy. The reason why I suggest Masashi Miyamoto's book was, without this book here, I would not be where I am now. It helped kickstart the path of me getting into self-help, improving my life. This book here, the Kickstarter. I cannot endorse Masashi Miyamoto's book enough. It was one written by one of the greatest swordsmen that ever lived in Japan. He's like 200 years ago, 200 or 300 years ago, and they're still talking about him today. They have a town named after him, museums, hundreds of Japanese movies. That's real success. They speak about him years in the future, like a couple of centuries. That's Masashi Miyamoto's book. Now the book I suggest is Sun Tzu's Art of War. It virtually gives you practical tips of how to actually win the art of war. But you can apply it to business and also in life. You just got to think about how the principles of the art of war actually apply to you personally, and then adapt it for whatever kind of success you're trying to get. But remember, that's for like achieving goals and stuff like that. In pickup, it might be a bit strong to use art of war and pickup, but one quote that will actually really will help is, before a fight's even won, you've already lost or won before you've even stepped up in the ring. So there is a couple of information there that can help you in pickups, but also just improve your life in general. There are 3 books that I totally suggest as reading material just to learn that persistence and ideas.